One of the big stories happening today is the ANC's commemoration of the life and times of struggle activist Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu. If you know the story, you know he was convicted of common purpose murder under the apartheid government and hanged back in 1979. Well, Aviwe Mtila is in Mamelodi West at Mahlangu's gravesite for us this morning, where a number of dignitaries, Aviwe, are expected to mark this. We understand that the commemoration did start earlier as well. So who have you seen come to the gravesite so far this morning?
Yes, the dignitaries are slowly trickling in, including Minister Nathi Mthethwa, here to lay the wreath at the graveside of struggle stalwart Solomon Mahlangu, who passed away 41 years ago, hanged by the apartheid government. In fact, on one of the people in the last group to be hanged by the apartheid government, which saw an uproar right around the world initially that led to the stopping of hanging. Well, I'm joined by the minister himself, Nathi Mthethwa. Thank you for joining us at eNCA, Minister. I just want to talk to the significance of this date, 41 years later, remembering Solomon Mahlangu. What can you say just on that?
Well, it's a story of resilience of the youth of this country. The youth who took a stand against the unjust laws of apartheid. The death-defying youth who said, come what may, we would rather lay our lives for the freedom of our people. So hence this year, the theme, resilience is power, that symbolizes Solomon Mahlangu. And Solomon Mahlangu became the face of the 1976 generation of youth. Because the major thing is that you had people who said, this is all what we have, it's our lives. They went through the process which we went through this morning, taken through the 52 steps to the gallows, and the brutality, the inhumane nature of the apartheid system is well depicted by that 52 steps. But even then, he was defiant and he called for the power to the people as he walked through the gallows there. So we are here today, 42 years later, to say Solomon Mahlangu did not die in vain. And people like him must be known that a 22-year-old made a vow that he is going to do everything in his power, including sacrificing his life for the freedom of our people.
Many then would criticize the freedom that we are under this year, saying that it benefits a few. We see what's happening within the ANC, fractured party, two factions divided, leaders, top leaders accused of corruption. Surely that's not the legacy he would have wanted to die for.
Well, the ANC itself is conscious of the situation it is facing. And from time to time you would know, whether you go back in the very early days in the 20s or the 30s, or you go to the 60s, leading to Morogoro Conference, we've always had a situation of challenge or challenges relating to unity. Of course, Solomon Mahlangu would have wanted to see a united African National Congress because he served it, and he served under the glorious army of Umkhonto weSizwe, knowing very well that the political leadership is supreme to the military. And therefore, as a disciplined cadre of the African National Congress, people like him, we owe it to them, actually, as the current leadership of the ANC, of the country, to work and do everything we can to unite ourselves first as the African National Congress, so that we are able to unite the country. So the very fact that the ANC itself pronounces on that and it does things or do things which are trying to live to the dream of the forebears of our revolution tells you that it's something which is within reach and it can be achieved with the differences which will always be there politically. But what is not representing those who sacrificed, like Solomon Mahlangu, is the disunity.
Thank you very much, Minister Natin Tetwa. Just reflecting on the life of the 22-year-old who passed away at 22, I beg your pardon, Solomon Mahlangu. His death, of course, signifying the end of the hanging itself. And the minister just saying that this unity is something that needs to be reflected and sorted out within even the governing African National Congress.
And that was just my thought, viewers. Let's hope that it does filter down and is renewed, gives them renewed vigor to clean house, I suppose. Thanks very much, Aviwe Mchila there in Mamelodi. Still to